Well, hello and welcome to our first day and the final session of the day for the fourth annual MMVC15. This is Nellie Deutsch coming to you from her study. And there you can see that we've got a speaker, yes. And our speaker is going to talk to us about making online students feel right at home. And you're right, it is our presenter from, let me find, why is Ebba here? There we are. Our presenter is originally from the USA. He's passionate about teaching online or teaching in general. He is full of amazing skills. So he's got 10,000 hours of many areas. He's a teacher, tutor, trainer, ELT, blogger, and author. He lives and works in Rio de Janeiro, that's in Brazil.
Thanks so much, Nellie. And hi, everybody. Welcome to my home. And today what I want to talk about is making online students feel right at home. Because usually when they're online, they are at home. But we have a lot of challenges while doing and dealing with this. So we're going to talk about them a bit. If some of you saw my last presentation about engagement, it's a lot of the same information that we're going to use, and I'm going to add a little bit more for it. So glad you're all here today, and let's get started. Can everybody hear okay? My sound all right? Great, thanks. Well, at home with me, actually at homes with me. As you can see, I was the cutest little thing back home in Boston, and growing up and for university, and when I had my son, I moved to Rhode Island, and 12 years ago I came to Brazil, and here I sit now. And I'm here, and welcome to my house. This is my office. First of all, I want to know a little bit about you. Yeah, actually, I was blonde when I was young, too. I get blue-eyed blondes. It's the German background. Well, do you teach face-to-face? Give me a little thing in the chat box. Okay, both face-to-face and online? Only online. Okay, good, Kim. I do still teach some face-to-face classes, very few. Most of my business now is online. We've got all of our teachers are now all over the world, and our students are all over the world. And here in Rio, we have a huge problem with traffic. So face-to-face becomes very difficult. And about the only face-to-face classes I still do is I do teach some free classes for some people that are disadvantaged here. But online, exactly, online makes more sense. I can actually reach more people, and it's much nicer. I get to sit at home in air conditioning. But there's a lot of advantages, and we'll talk about this. The interactive whiteboard, these are things that you don't always have with face-to-face private classes. And tell me, how many of you teach online? No? I know you do, Nellie. I've been learning from you for a couple years now. Great, just starting. Okay, great, Brian. Okay. No, don't blush. It's true. Okay, an instant. Okay, very good. All right, great. And last, let me ask you, what makes you feel at home? Think about the expression at home. Wearing your slippers. Ah, that's nice. Comfort. Being comfy, good. No need to dress up. Nice. Being yourself, great. Wi-Fi, dressing down, being comfortable, Food, nice. No bad hair days. Always. All right, great. Breaks. Okay, good. Well, let's think a little bit about what home really is. And take a look. Home should be welcoming, friendly. It's a place that you can rely on. And it should be merciful. And because people in English love acronyms, warm. So home is warm. It should be comfortable. It should be your oasis. It should be your zone. And definitely should be yours. So what do we spell? Cozy. Very good, Stefan. Okay. So what we're going to talk about, some of the things that we do is warm and cozy. We want to make our students feel warm and cozy when they're online. Take a look at this picture. This is something that I do when I do live presentations. I actually have the audience get in a circle. I put a sample teacher in the middle, and then I put distractions on the outside. So when you're looking at an online course such as this, I'm not seeing any of you right now, which for me, we talked about last time, is very boring. I'm a lot more fun when I'm face-to-face and I can see your faces and see your reactions. But when you're dealing with an online course, this is the real picture. And they have distractions. They're usually at home or they're at work when they're online. They have the baby, the neighbor, the boss. There might be a soccer game going on, the phone rings, they have Facebook messages, they're worried about money, their girlfriend, their wife might find out about the girlfriend, TV, the dog, the family. There's distractions. And one of the most important things when you're going online is stopping all these distractions. So what we need to work on is keeping students interested, keeping them focused, on task, and paying attention. And no, it doesn't spell anything. Students should also be relaxed. They should be having fun and enjoy the class, and they should be entertained because you really have to draw their attention to what's going on. Shucks, that works. And most of all, the results, what we're looking for is attendance, retention, keeping them happy, and keeping them coming back. Now, if you're running a business, this, Moodle has all this. Yes, it does. And if you're running your own business, the most important thing that you're going to find is keeping them happy and keeping them coming back. And I do talks about online retention. And this is one of the most difficult things that there is with online, is keeping students coming back, keeping them with perfect attendance and keeping them happy. And this is what we're going to talk about. So the class will fulfill the students' objectives. It's going to be rewarding, meet their needs, and keep learning. So, how do we touch them online? A couple questions. Can we touch them online? Should we? And do we? For those of you who are only face-to-face teachers, what do you think? I want you to answer this question. Do you think that an online teacher can reach out and touch the students? It's harder due to all the distractions, yes. Yes, you gave my answer. I actually feel, and I'll show you if we do things. No, that's okay. I feel that online, working with small classes online is even better than working face-to-face in a classroom, because we can do so much more when we have the people working in a comfortable environment. First of all, you all know the classes where people are not comfortable. I've taught face-to-face conversation classes. People are strangers. They feel out of their element. They don't want to talk. And believe it or not, just being at home and being comfortable in their own element is enough that we can actually reach out and touch them. So, first of all, some of the rules. And yes, here's my coffee. We're going to talk about the rules. First of all, it's very important. You need to have fun. As the teacher, you need to smile. Okay? Smiling, having fun in the classroom, number one. You'll see it's going to make everybody relaxed. It removes the fear that the students have, and it's going to build up a community. One of the most important things, yes, my cup of coffee, and one of the most important things that you're going to find with online and what's going to help you with retention is that fostering a community and building a group while people are all over the world is the most important thing that you can do to make retention. So have fun in your classes. I try to. And one of my other heroes besides Nelly, Fluency MC, I know some of you were watching him today with me, and we need to make them relax, okay? Having fun is the best way to make students relax. Have them laughing, have them enjoying themselves, smiling, have them interacting, and this will build a community, and this will foster learning much faster. Now, if this is you, and this is the way you teach, you're boring, you're falling asleep, you're lifeless, of course, it's exactly what you're going to get out of your class. The students should be a mirror of you. And if you expect them to be lively, you need to be lively. Those of you who know me, and I know Anna's here, I am crazy. I will do crazy things to make a point for my students. And here we were talking about police time, and there's me writing the class. We have fun in our classes. You have to have fun. Okay, very important. Mr. Bean, thank you. It's very important to use a student's name. The most important thing to any person is their name. Now, this also keeps people's attention. For example, every time that I say Anna Owen, she's going to jump up and pay attention. So it gives a feeling of self-importance. It grabs her attention, and it shows that you've taken the time to personalize the class. When I use anything, if I'm using sentences, I try to use the names of the students in those samples because this shows that it's personalized. Say my name. Stefan, you sing for us later, please. Another thing is something Dale Carnegie said, and this is something that I learned years ago from my sales background. It's the most important thing to any person. And use it, take advantage of it, learn your students' names, make sure that they know each other's names, so they say, that guy over there. Make sure everybody knows and uses names in the classroom. Now, personalization is very important. You notice when I opened up, I showed some pictures of me. I opened up my life to you. And this is important if you expect your student to open up their life to you in the classroom. I remember back, I don't remember which MOOC it was, but I was watching for the first time some PhD in Canada, Dr. Nellie, and she actually had to leave because her husband came home. And she had to run over and give a little kiss. He had been out of town for a while. Now, she opened up part of herself, and that really brought me into the classroom, and it made me feel comfortable and at home with her. This is something that's one of the most important things in teaching is modeling. And if we're going to expect them to give part of their life and make some sentences and talk about and open up about their feelings, we need to do the same thing. Okay? Get them to share themselves. And the other great thing about this is oh, your son, I didn't see that one. We want to build friendships, and you'd be surprised. I also open up Facebook groups for all my classes, and there's a lot of interaction between all my students. Building a friendship keeps them involved and keeps them with a sense of community, and it really makes them feel comfortable and at home. And let me hit the right button here. Now, when we talk about personalization and personalized practice, get to know your students. Another advantage of using Facebook is I'm a Facebook stalker. And I will take a look at my students' different pictures and get to know a little bit about their life. By getting to know about their life, you know what kind of examples that you can use, and you can make personalized examples to use in the classroom. Have pets in their class. I tried that, but I have a pet horse, and nobody could see me in class. Okay? You want to make the class memorable. You want to use their lives, use the information, take notes about all your students, the things that they like, the things that they like to do. All these things are important, and reuse these in the classroom when you use examples, okay? Set an example of what you want them to imitate. Exactly this. I'm going fast today. Now, another thing that I like to do is have the students do all the work. Now, this isn't because I'm lazy. What I like to do is, if I put something on the screen, if I could turn on the microphones right now, I would say something like, Mary, could you read the text that we have on the screen here? And what you want to do is, this will keep students on their toes because nobody ever knows who's going to be called on next. And it also gives them a purpose to pay attention. It draws them into the class. And just like we should have been doing this in the face-to-face classroom, we want to get everybody involved. Aha, yes. The cup gets bigger as I go. I drink a lot of coffee. Pay attention, exactly this. You have to look at the details and something strange. If you do something that's entertaining, you keep their attention, this will keep them engaged. Now, another thing you may have noticed, I've used a lot of pictures here, and these are all pictures that I've taken myself. Use local pictures. This is the view from my window. It's a little too sunny, so I can't show you. But use local landmarks, use pictures about your life. Talk about local issues that are going on. It shows that dedication, that you've taken the extra time. It shows that you've taken the extra time to prepare a class based on a local issue or something that's going on in the news, something that's current, something that's important to the whole group. So take a little extra time. It really isn't that much work. Use your cell phone. This is a cell phone picture. And take advantage. Okay? Now, use poll questions. I didn't set up a poll today because we're having some problems with the polls this morning. And this is a poll that I tend to use throughout my classes. It's very good. It's engaging. It keeps people occupied. It's a great warm-up. It's a great way to segue into another subject or something else. It's very effective, and we want to get their opinion. The best thing that we can do is take their opinion and make this opinion turn into a discussion. It also helps to break up the monotony of the class and makes them feel comfortable. Okay, and again, everybody's opinion in the classroom is important, right or not. You want to mix up the activities. You want things to be fast-paced. I think I drank too much coffee because I'm very fast-paced today. You want them to be dynamic. Change your activities often. And when you're working with, let's say, a fixed class where you meet 2 or 3 times a week and you meet with the same people or you meet on the same schedule, what you want to do is mix things up the way that you structure your class. For instance, sometimes you'll start with a warm-up and then you're going to move on and you're going to do, let's say, a short film clip, or you're going to do a grammar exercise, or you're going to do some practice, or you're going to do polls. Change the order every time. And somebody pointed out, this is real blended learning. Yeah, a bad joke. Okay? Continuity. One of the first problems that we tend to run into is the technical issue. We've been lucky, we don't have, thanks Neves, we don't have many technical issues lately. Here in Brazil, we have a lot of problems with internet. So unfortunately, late at night, we'll have a lot of problems. We've actually lost power in the middle of class. We've lost internet, we lose picture. What you want to do is try and keep the continuity as much as possible. Be prepared for plan B. What you want to think about is the segue, how you're going to change from one section to another. If you're going to use breakout rooms, if you're going to use films, if you're going to use different media, make sure everything is ready. Make sure you've practiced everything. You're able to bring everything in so you keep continuity and keep the pace up. Now, talking about film clips, this is something that I've talked about before. I've been to a lot of conferences, I've watched a lot of classes, and one thing that I'm really not happy with is that people tend to show videos that are way too long. They think that, oh, this is cute, I'll show the whole thing, and they end up showing 5 to 7 minute videos. Now, in a face-to-face classroom, you have their attention, they have nowhere else to go. But when you're in the online environment, the first thing that happens when you get into a long video is People are checking their Facebook. People are looking at something else, checking their email, sending messages, see what else is going on. You want to keep their attention. One of the best ways of doing this is, I like to say, keep your video short. 20 to 30 seconds if you can. And what I've done here is I'm going to show you a couple of videos. And what we're doing is talking about would rather be. And let me show you the first video.
Don't stand there, Corbin! Like you've never seen your hand of God before! Now, today we're going to do marching up and down the square! That is, unless any of you got anything better to do. Well, anyone got anything they'd rather be doing than marching up and down the square? Yes, Atkinson. What would you rather be doing, Atkinson?
Well, to be quite honest, Sarge, I'd rather be at home with the wife and kids.
Would you now?
Yes, Sarge.
Right, off you go. Now, everybody else happy with my little plan of marching up and down the square a bit?
Sarge?
Yes.
I've got a book I'd quite like to read.
Right, you go read your book then. Now, everybody else quite content to join in with my little scheme of marching up and down the square?
Sarge?
Yes, Wycliffe, what is it?
Well, I'm learning the piano.
Learning the piano?
Yes, Sarge.
And I suppose you want to go and practice, eh? Marching up and down the square, not good enough for you, eh?
Well,
Right, off you go! Now, what about the rest of you? Rather be at the pictures, I suppose. All right, off you go! Bloody army, I don't know where it's coming to. Right, Sergeant Major marching up and down the square. Left, right, left.
Democracy and humanitarianism have always been trademarks of the British Army.
Rubbish!
And have stamped its triumph throughout history in the furthest flung corners of the empire.
Okay. Now, with this video, it's great, it's funny. Sorry about the sound. I don't know why it's low. It was working fine before. But continuity with technical issues. Okay, some people said it sounded fine. Okay, great. Now, let me ask you, what did you think? That was a 2-minute film. Was everybody paying attention? Did you tend to stray at all? Did you tend to start thinking about other things? Oh, I know, I'm too engaging. Stop. You're supposed to say yes, I was doing other things. Okay, so this was only a 2-minute video, and I've seen people go on for 5, 6, 7, even 10 minutes. Okay, good, getting a little close. Now let me show you what I've done. I actually edited the video and made a shorter version, and let's watch that now.
Anyone got anything they'd rather be doing than marching up and down the square? Yes, Atkinson. What would you rather be doing, Atkinson?
Well, to be quite honest, Sarge, I'd rather be at home with the wife and kids.
Would you now?
Yes, Sarge.
Right, off you go.
Okay, so this clip was only 29 seconds long, and it showed exactly the point that I was trying to make. And of course, you're still here. Hopefully, you didn't have time to stray. So be very careful when you're thinking about what you're going to use for videos. And this way, your video will be much more effective. Close. And make sure that what you're showing is critically useful. Is it really necessary for the class, or am I showing it just for the sake of showing a cute video? Okay? Very good. Now, another thing that I like to do, and this is great, you're going to make people feel just like they're there in the classroom, in a face-to-face environment, by using round-robin questions. And I don't know if people know what round-robin is, but what it is we're going to go and, let's say, I'm going to ask Anna a question, then Anna's going to call on Rosemary and ask her a question. Rosemary's going to ask Nellie. Nobody ever knows who's going to be asked or who's going to be involved in the question and answer period. And this keeps people involved. It keeps them paying attention. And the nice thing is that this will keep everybody focused, because of course you don't want to be the person who said, oh, I wasn't listening, or repeating the same thing that somebody else just said. And it also gives forced interaction. And it's an easy thing to do. And again, it's going to reduce your time. It's going to make everybody feel comfortable. And it makes everybody feel like they're at home in the classroom. Another one, hot topics. Now, I know Nellie and I feel different about this. Nellie is caveat, be very careful about controversy and causing arguments, but I love to do it. I love controversy because I like to get people out of their comfort zone when they're speaking. So what I like to do is get them, sometimes, I like to keep people a little off guard, because people, of course, when they start to argue, when they start to really get into a heated discussion, they stop thinking. And the idea is we don't want them thinking in their original language. We want them thinking in the language that we're trying to speak. And what we're trying to do is give them life language. Now, the caveat with this is be careful what you're talking about. I really enjoy using controversy. I remember when I first started teaching here in Brazil, the first thing they told me is, don't talk about people's jobs, money, sex, religion, drugs, or soccer, or football. Those were the first subjects that I started using. And really, this is what people are taking a language course for, because they really want to learn how to build, use their own voice. Now, be careful though, sometimes you will have to step in and say, come on, we're just having a discussion here. And remember, we need to learn to respect each other's opinions. The nice thing about online is now, through online, we're talking cultures all over the world may be mixed. And the nice thing about having this mixed culture is, for example, for me, an American, I think that Americans are the best hockey players in the world. And Nellie, being Canadian, will probably disagree with me. And if there's any Russians here, they play pretty well. We can really get into cultural discussions and talking about how people think, what the different opinions are, and we can actually learn from each other. And this is the idea. Again, this is comfortable. It's keeping them engaged, and it makes them feeling comfortable at home. Okay? Yes, parents may not like it if you're teaching in school. Again, you have to think, be a teacher. For example, I'm not going to show pornography to teenagers. Actually, I won't show it to anybody. You know, we have to be age appropriate. It has to be appropriate for the level. But for example, if we're talking with teenagers and the discussion is about bullying, the subject matter is going to come up, talking about maybe gay students or not gay students. And we have to be good moderators and keep that under control. But this is what they need to learn how to talk about. And no, this isn't Jason. This is that other great teaching guru, Eminem. But use controversy, start small, but learn how to work with it because it's nice. There's nothing better than a good argument. I've been married 25 times. No, it's true. But what I learned is I was married to a French woman and married to a Brazilian. And what I find is what happens when you start arguing is you stop thinking in your own language and you start focusing on the language that you're speaking in. And no. I've only been married twice. I'm sorry, I'm joking. Okay. Afterwards, what's very important, and this came from the engagement and the disengagement, but this is something that I like to do with students too, is do reflection. Ask for feedback, whether it be talking in the classroom, talking privately, or sending emails, sending questionnaires. Yes, using Google Forms for feedback. Feedback is very, very important. You want to find out from the students what they liked, what was working for them, what's not working for them, how you can improve, and also how they can improve. And what will happen is you'll find what you think was working with class and what you think was exciting and really hit home was probably not the best thing for them. And surprisingly, over the years of teaching, some of the best activities and some of the best things that I've come up with over the years were ideas that came from students. So reflect on this, reflect on your own classes. The thing that's wonderful about having WizIQ as this platform here and using this online is that the courses are all recorded. And I actually go back and I watch my own recordings, I watch my other teachers' recordings, and I try and get a sense of what was going right, what was going wrong, where can we improve. Of course, we know we always need to improve. Okay? So, wow, we went very fast today. Too much coffee. I'd like to open it up and see, does anybody have any questions at all and any ideas that they can share on making this transition from the classroom to online? Any problems that you've had or any problems that you think may come up in the future? Just type away. Yes, I didn't change. Let me see. I have 4 different cups of coffee here today. I need to buy a bigger mug. Okay, Nellie, and let's talk about it. In what way do you think using CLIL in the classroom? Well, it's, of course, I use the commutative approach. But I don't know what you're specifically talking about, in which aspect. I hate acronyms. Using science. Okay. Now, of course, what I'm doing, I've been teaching English language now for about 10 years. And before this, I actually was a trainer for sales. And I wish I had this technology back then because I use this. And I notice, for example, that somebody here teaches microbiology. And everything here has to be changed over to keep engagement. Okay, we have an interesting discussion. Does anybody want to speak? We have enough time here. We can get you involved. If you're willing, I can turn on your microphone if anybody would like to. Length of article? Yes. If you noticed, I like to keep everything short. I like, with presentations, bullet points. I think any long articles, what we should do, we'll talk about that. With any long articles, I don't do these in the classroom. I use these sent out beforehand so people will read the articles before. And I don't want to waste time reading in the classroom. I would do basically a discussion with specific questions, and we'll talk about the article itself, okay? Because class time for me, I've always made this writing, reading, practicing, watching should be done outside of the classroom beforehand and take advantage of communication and practice while you're in the classroom itself. Because for me, they don't get enough practice. For me, I prefer to listen, believe it or not. I talk a lot, but you know, this is a one-sided conversation right now. If the students don't read the article beforehand, then they have to catch up. And hopefully, because they can't interact with the discussion, what they'll do is next time they will read the article. And it happens. If you're talking about, you know, science, rap on the knuckles, more than that. As far as, let me see, there was a question, how do I pick teachers for my organization? Send me an email, we'll talk. Some of the people that work with me are people that have been working for me and with me for years. And it's interesting because actually the majority of the teachers that I've hired for my business were all face-to-face teachers and had never done online. I don't pay anything. Ask Anna how much her pay is. Anna is my moderator for one of my Facebook pages. No, I pay well. I'm not going to talk about price. But I pay well, so I have great students, and I have great teachers, and I've trained them to do the online classes. No, not for free. Nobody works here for free, just Anna. Reading. Good. Anna works for free, and she got a 10% cut in pay today. Well, any other questions? Let me give you my information here. I hope that anybody who's looking to become an online teacher, what did I ask? I don't remember. right here, here's my information if you have any classes, if you have any questions or anything else. I hope that, you know, if you're looking to start a business, what do I not pay? I pay attention. I pay respect. Okay, here's my information. We have a blog. Our blog is for both students and for teachers. So if you check out our blog, I'm on Facebook. You can find me on LinkedIn. We've uploaded this to SlideShare. And you can find me on Facebook. If you have any questions or anything else, you know, feel free, send me an email. And thanks. Sorry I ran so fast. I think I had too much coffee. I really want to thank Nellie for the opportunity again for being able to do this. And I really hope that everybody